Hello and welcome back to FC Barcelona Central. After our back-to-back losses, a new narrative has gone through the Barca world. The Hansi Flick second year curse. Is it true? Does Hansi Flick always fail on his second season? We're tackling that rumor with facts, but that is not all. Barca sporting director Deco is already planning on the next summer, and not just the next summer, this winter, targeting a 45 million defensive gem, and more importantly, scouting a superstar number 9 for a potential replacement for Lewandowski. Plus, I have some really boring but surprising details when it comes to the financial reports that the club is giving out, and it has to do with the economic recovery. But before I continue, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, give me a comment, and here we go. As soon as the final whistle blew in Sevilla, whispers started around, this rumor of Flick's bad second season. The narrative has gained traction, but let's just look at some facts after the first year in Bayern Munich. Flick took over Bayern Munich in the middle of the 2020 season and famously led them to the treble. But what about that notorious year, the 2021? So far being a disaster for a team to win to 4 titles, a European Super Cup, FIFA Club World Cup that year, the Bundesliga, and the German Cup. That is, by no standards, an exceptional good year. So where does this rumor come from? It comes from the Champions League itself. That year, Bayern was eliminated by PSG in the quarterfinals on an away goal. And remind you, this was 3-3 in aggregate, so it kind of sort of came down to the wire. And for this vital tale, Flick was missing two of the biggest stars in that team, which was Robert Lewandowski and Serge Gnabry. Additionally, the team lack of a spark from the previous year, but with injuries, a player like ex-Barca Thiago Alcantara and rivals began to expose the unique high-level defensive system. That's what some people are saying now. That's where people are kind of taking more into account Hansi Flick, how other teams had figured out this high line defensive system. So, listen, bottom line, Flick managed Bayern for 86 matches, winning a staggering 70 of them. That's a 81% rate on matches with the clubs, who has a 100. It's kind of like the best win rate for a club that has a 125-year history. So, second bad year, I don't think so. There's a rumor. That myth has been debunked. So the sporting director, the directorate, and Deco, the sporting director, is already sketching out the team's evolution for next summer and identifying the need for the team. We definitely know that he wants to get a left-footed center back, a powerful fullback, and a world-class striker. The spotlight currently this week shines on Mike Uwe, a 25-year-old right-footed center back from Crystal Palace. He is a target for Barcelona, Liverpool, and Real Madrid, with Bayern already initiated contract, not negotiations, but talks. Why the rush? Well, because this player the contract expires on June 2026, meaning that Palace might have to sell him. They could sell him for at least 45 million, which is his current evaluation. And perhaps, this is what I say, the winter market, Crystal Palace could very well just sell this player in the winter, because it might be better than to just avoid him losing him for free, because he's going to leave and he's not going to want to resign with Crystal Palace. Although Barcelona priority remains a left-footed center back to replace the gap left by Íñigo Martínez, who's kind of is killing it in Saudi Arabia. A talent like this cannot be ignored. Deco is also monitoring other left-footed options like Nico Skoreberg from Borussia Dortmund and Gonzalo Ignacio from Sporting Lisboa. But the biggest challenge for Deco, The biggest challenge for Deco and likely the star signing for the next electoral year, because remind you, there are elections coming for Joan Laporta's seat as the president. The most important signing, big signing, is the number 9 position. Who's going to be Barcelona strikers for the years to come? We know Lamine Yamal signed a huge contract this past summer. So everything points out to Robert Lewandowski either for season being out for sure or him moving to a permanently high secondary role, which I think that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is Robert Lewandowski is going to get a Saudi contract. Barcelona cannot afford to miss on his replacement. So names like Erling Haaland, Julian Alvarez, and Lautaro Martinez has been on the radar. They kind of has been not Haaland not so much talked about, but Julian Alvarez for sure. There's a lot of buzz with him in Spain, but whatever. The reality is stark. Signing a truly top tier number 9 would require a major sale anywhere in the squad. That's for sure. So somebody's gonna have to leave, and without any significant ongoing transfer, such a deal simply most likely will be impossible to make, given the financial constraint, the financial restraints and constraints that the club has. And speaking about the financial situation, I do have some numbers from a financial report that came out pretty much yesterday. The club just released these figures, and they are painting a complex but ultimately positive picture on their day-to-day operations. And after I read it, these are the key takeaways that I got. So they have some profits for sure. The club generated 994 million in ordinary revenue, resulting in a positive 2 million ordinary profit from the daily activities. This confirms on ongoing economic recovery in core business areas. That's kind of just part of the day-to-day operations. Net result, after accounting for extraordinary items and taxes in the final year, net loss is 17 millions. This is now where things get complicated. They get complicated all across the board. But off of those 17 millions that Barcelona owns, 15 of these millions are extremely directly directed to the UEFA fines. Remember, Barcelona has been penalized for some signings that stopped, not the signings, but Barcelona has been penalized for Dani Olmo's last year's inscription situation by UEFA. So UEFA, the punishment was money pretty much, and it can ultimately lead out to at some point, not anymore, it could lead out to any not expulsion, but deduction of points on the current UEFA Champions League season this year. But apparently did not go all the way through to be that way, so the money is the thing. Anyways, of the 17 millions of loss, 15 millions it has to do with the fines, and the rest it has to do against this whole debacle that happened. So massive values that happened for Barca Studios, which is now Barca Productions. This all has been going down way before this channel got started, but I've been digging. I've been digging all of this and kind of bringing it to you in a way that you can understand quick, fast, and you in the ball with what's happening in the club. Because also what happened with the Barca Studios there, the auditors dropped its value from 400 millions to 178 millions. Imagine 400, 178. Anyways, forcing the club to push this, to lose the shares and have lose a lot of money. They lost 51% of their shares to make it really balance out. But whatever, man. The good news here is that we have record revenue. The club announced a historical record in sponsorships, 259 million in sponsorship and 170 million in merchandise. So showing the strength of the brand. People are loving Barcelona. They're buying the jerseys. They're buying everything that has to do within the Barcelona logo, the brand, which is great. The other good takeaway is debt reduction. The total debt has been reduced to 90 million compared to previous years. Now at 469 million. I'm talking about these numbers like it's just like chump change, but this is just kind of like what the reports. Um, I guess that's a good thing. Total debt has been reduced by 90 million euros compared to previous years. That means previous years it would not go this far, but it's currently standing at 469 million of debt. Wow. I guess that's a good news, silver lining. No, and all the another good news is that the wage bill is stable, sitting at 54%, maintaining of ordinance, that it balances out, that it's not like some crazy. I mean, I'm sure they have their math in their equation, but it pretty much remains within the UEFA limit, which is where we want to get to, so we don't get all penalized for more money and taxes and whatever. But looking ahead, the club projects 1 billion in revenue for the next financial year. I think this is going to be this year starting now. From here now, including 50 million for the gradual return of the Spotify camp. No, I think they're gonna get some money when this opens, and 5 millions in ordinary profits. I don't know what that means. So, while the optics looks negative due to some technical prohibitions that happened in the last administration and this administration, whatever. Everybody knows that Barcelona owes a lot of money and they have a big debt and they're not financially like stable. This is honestly a good step. I like the fact that the club showed these numbers. I'm able to dissect them and, planning ahead too for the next few years. Transfer market, La Masia has been killing it. We have some injured players. We lost 2 games back to back. It's time to reflect, take a deep breath, and let's see what happened, man. There's also international break going through, starting today. Let me make sure if any of our European, no, well, yeah, starting today in Africa, FIFA World Cup qualifying for Africa. Anyways, we are currently in international break, so that's all I have for today. Oh, also, I should talk about this in another video, but Jordi Alba just retired. Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets retired as well. I should talk about them a little bit, but I just want to bring you the latest news for Barcelona. Yeah, Jordi Alba retired. He announced his retirement just now. Anyways, you already know. Until next time.